Folks, welcome back to College COD Bravo as we're getting ready for this game number 1 between UCF Knights and the Barry Bucs. We are going to get into this Bocage. We got the players ready, but Cash, before that, let's talk about this team right now. Let's hit it once more. We're looking at Bocage. What are you looking at for the UCF Knights to get a good start against Barry Bucs?
To get a good start, they've got to come out in the slang. You know that Barry's going to fly at you with in-your-face gunfights. They're going to try to dictate the tempo and the pacing early. So if you can kind of hold off that initial break, really look to get the setup you want, not base the game off of how that first hill goes, but if you're going to be able to get the kills and the wraparounds necessary, that's what's going to be important for me. And that's what I'm looking at for them to get things started and really have not only positivity but longevity in the series.
And folks, I mean, if you're looking across the table and wondering, what about the Barry Buccaneers? Well, I mean, this is the number 15 squad. They're in the top 25. They are undefeated in not just series score, but map count as well. I mean, if you're looking at anybody to start off strong, it is going to be Barry Buccaneers who will most likely get it done. But really, UCF Knights, they are going to have to climb a very tall mountain if they want to get this going. And honestly, like you and I said it before, I don't think that we could have gone to a better map number 1 to really see that upset potential happen.
This isn't a better one. This is UCF's, I think, best chance at taking off a map in this series. If they want to do it early, this is one that'll give us a showcase of, sure, you can play the rotations and that could dictate, but can you come out and match the pacing of the Barry Bucs? You know they're going to come out hot, come out at you. This is the best map for them, for us to get a look at how this series is going to potentially shake out for us.
Now, if you're looking at Bocage, we've seen it plenty before. I mean, we are months into this game. You know that it is going to be quite the bloodbath on every single hill. So who's going to be able to lock down the majority time? Who's going to slay out better? It's all going to be keys to who can take a Bocage map. But we're going to hop off with the Knights on first. Looking to set up and break this hill as well as flip the spawns for the second set of hills that we're going to be seeing. And excellent break so far. It's 2 quick kills, 2 answered back in a rebuttal. And Barry Bucs going to be holding on strong right now to the rotation. And UCF Knights, you can see them spawning up back Grandmas.
Right now, just trying to feel out the map, figure out where exactly Barry's looking to hold. They have a really nice even spread along the 50-yard line of the map, and they've maybe bent but haven't broken yet. Not getting too much time in response, just really trying to keep map control, but it looks like AAA Megan slipped through there into barn, so now these players for the Bucs are going to have to go hunting, try to figure out where AAA Megan is and keep these players from potentially flipping out spawns. We see their setup kind of condense a bit more as UCF try to take advantage of the map that's open to them, but for now, Barry Bucs hold on, and as this P2 spawns, they still look to be in good position.
You don't usually see a lot of time off this first hill, but Megan, she had an excellent opportunity to get into that barn, kind of flip the spawns out, find a few kills. Just not happening right now. Bucs in control of the slaying column, in control of this map, and in control of the rotations into the second hill. It's a full 4 down. Grime starts it. Gyro shuts the door, and now Grime on 4 in a row. Make it 5 in a row. Glide bomb early for the Barry Bucs. That is one way to start this off. With a lot of utility, that glide bomb can keep things snowballing.
And I know we're 40 seconds into this one, but I'm already going to be looking to Chris to say, hey, we're kind of getting hit a little bit here early. You know, the scoreline isn't anything crazy yet, but we know we've been getting wiped pretty handedly here. Let's group up, do what we need to do to get a break on this hill, as we're going to see their first kind of contest come in. A couple kills go their way, and now maybe what they needed to get this last bit of scrap time is going to be Eugenia from the top roof.
From the top roof, Chris inside. Not spotting out. Gyro swaps the secondary. He's able to find both players. It's 3 in a row for Gyro. Can't find the 4th, but it's enough to delay the Knights from finding any more time inside that hill. Tyler's making a huge overextension play to hopefully thwart the rotations for Barry Buccaneers. And inside that, Tyler does find the first, but the squad spawns come in time. So Barry, they're able to reinforce this hill. The Buccaneers able to hit this once more, play for the break. Grime leading the way, not able to find the second one, but the teammates are here for the reinforcement. They're already into this hill, and Eugenia trying to hold things tight. Good for 2. Around the outside, it's 3 down. Still spawns for the Bucs as the Knights are into the hill, but they are surrounded right now.
A good 4 down answer from UCF to take control of this hill with ample time left for it to matter, and we see Tyler spawning up on the top left side of the map, but it's going to be end event already on the rotation, looking for this P2 huge gun, or P4, this huge gunfight going down here, and I don't think Tyler's aware of it. As end event sneaks around the back, we're going to see Barry have control of the rest of the scrap time, but as these spawns start to flip out, it's going to be end event finding the kill on Tyler. That should be spawn clearance for this P4. Barry Bucs playing pretty flawless hardpoint at the moment.
Honestly, they truly are. The Knights get flipped once more. Marskis, who's still back there, locks down a glide bomb. So 2 glide bombs for the Buccaneers right now. Knights trying to break this hill in for the contention, but Grime comes to help out Indivent. keeping the streak alive. Only player not on a streak right now is Gyro. Marskis has full streaks. Indivent about to find a glide bomb of their own. He said flawless so far. They have the rotation still, 40 seconds to collect inside this barn hill. And you remember the Knights in Hill 1. They had trouble even crossing the 50-yard line.
It's looking like another situation of that again, and where I'm seeing UCF falling short in the slaying department. Yeah, they've been able to answer with 4 downs of their own, and they had a wonderful one to get good time on P3, get most of their points thus far, but for every 2 4 downs that Barry gets, UCF maybe gets 1, and so it is just lopsided as far as the killing goes, and that's what's awarded Barry the time that they've got. And so at the moment, UCF, they're fighting for scrap time, and as we said for Barry, if they can create a deficit, even if UCF can catch fire on the second set of rotations, it may just be too much.
Vin's going to find one big trade inside. Knights find the majority. They're going to have that early time here inside this hill. Megan's looking to take the fight to the front line with a little bit of help. It's going to be 2 down in the back. Full wipe from the Knights. The best we've seen from them so far. Now looking to resurge on Bokosh. Who's going to hop in for the time? Because right now it's uncontested. You look at the side of the Buccaneers. They're going to be spawning up into the top left. Grimes has a glide bomb, and you're going to be seeing a whole lot of that to keep the Knights off of this hill right now inside the first set, because they do have a lot inside the arsenal. It's enough to allow the opening, and the follow-up is fantastic. Megan now all alone, hoping that player number 5 can provide enough overwatch to keep them in it, but instead Megan going to take the gunfights at range. Gyro drops 6 in a row from Megan. Now full streaks for the Knights.
That's the momentum and kind of that mental regain that you needed to hit there. You get a good bit of time here still. Looking at about a 50-point deficit, but behind the slang of Megan, now you have a streak in your back pocket. You can use it to break open a hill. And finally, you're feeling a little bit looser on the map. Now, can you make the improvement on this P1? Can you cross that 50-yard line and start to wreak havoc? Looking at those P2 spawns, that's what we're going to have to find out from this UCF squad. But so far, I mean, they're doing the best to hang in there.
Hang in there indeed. This is a good resurgence, though, out of the Knights in that 5th hill. It's probably the best we've seen from them. So a little bit of warm-up. Now they're here to play Cash, and we're hoping to see if they can keep this momentum going. And what they struggled with in the first set of rotations was flipping these spawns out. You are winning the gunfights in the back. Chris able to pull things for the likes of the Knights and the spawns, but just when the kills come through, they cannot win their ones. Indivent finds 2. Grimes closes the door. You still have the spawns in the back for the Knights, but you need this to pay off.
You absolutely need this to pay off. I think they need to get most of this P2 time. Can they hold off a break? This is going to be one of the few times that we're going to see. Can they hold off a full-on hit from Barry as they're already in the back picking off kills? And it's going to be player 6 in Jujina trying to make something happen in the back to regain those spawns for the team. It's not going to happen. So UCF holding from the front, but before the hill even popped, they got broken. Streak comes in and doesn't connect. So UCF, they got to make a collapse and they got to make a hit. It's coming from this top side of the map, and that's what they're going to need to do to keep this close.
Curious to see if Megan invests any of their shrieks. Look at Indivent's position. All the way pushed up into the Knights spawn, just picking them off before they can even start their attack. To the second hill. Grimes to take their place, but Megan in the slide wins the one-on-one. Shrieks going to be called out. Blind bomb drop down. Marski is going to burn 1 to take down Tyler. Leave it a little bit more open for them to collect the rest of this time. 150 to 80. So Buccaneers once more looking to get in their comfortable position in the lead. And the Knights just struggling once more inside this lane category inside the second set.
I didn't like seeing them, unfortunately I do have right hand of the map spawn, but I didn't like seeing them invest that many resources in for the last 15 seconds of scrap time. I'd like to have seen them set up better for a P3 hit coming through, because now you're already going to be 2 down as P3 pops, and this is where they got a good bit of time last time, sure, but it's going to have to be clean holds and sets from them, and unfortunately being in a position where you have to throw all of your lives at scrap time at this point, they don't have that ability to get the clean setups that they would like. So right now, once again, broken off the rip with just a couple players left. Barry Bucs in control and up by over 100 now. UCF have to find a way to get a big answer.
The 100-point lead. Knights, this is where they started their comeback. Inside Grandma's, they didn't have too bad of a hill hold from the front into the contention. Buccaneers going to be there. Jujina struggling to get through the window, and Indivent's going to have an easy kill for the break. 23 seconds still into that hill. Buccaneers looking to eclipse the 200-point marker. And I love this play to Gyro to try to pull these spawns.
It's going to force the attention of 2 of these players. They know that at this point they've got to be double teaming these players. Kill feed's been all white a little too frequently for their liking. So once again, UCF find themselves in a position where they could very decently, get a decent hold off the rip, but as we see a player drop, trying to hold off the flank, that just creates a pinch opportunity not only from the top but the bottom of the map. And They're trying to hold on for dear life, but unless it's a full 60 here, this could very well put you in a bind.
And I know we say it a lot, Cash as casters, but you're going to need to see perfect hardpoint out of the Knights if they want to take this Bokosh off of the Buccaneers. Down a whole 100 points. And going to this hill number 5 next, you still have Shrieks in Mega's hands. It could be the catalyst to collecting that time once more, as they had a really good hill 5. But right now, you're still inside this barn hill with 30 seconds remaining. Buccaneers get the break. They're going to be trying to soak it all up. And, I mean, if you're the Knights, do you even hit this? You might need to hit this.
The contest is going to come in from Chris on the front, and we're going to see this play over once again to this P5 spot where good time was found. It was opened with a streak by Barry. They weren't able to capitalize on it all that much, but as you alluded to, perfect hard point. I know it's the most redundant thing you can hear from your casters, but UCF don't have much room for error here. Only 25 seconds needed for Barry to take it away, and Barry, we've been touching on UCF, but they've been doing a wonderful job slaying on the map. Now, this has been one of the closer hard points that they've played, but they're going to get the break here and going to look to try to take this one away and close it out on this P5.
Grime slides on in, not just one, but snaps to the second. That's going to leave this hill open. 35 seconds to collect. Knights, they want every drop of this if they can, but are on the outside. Marski's going to drop Tyler from that hill. Nice looking to reinforce it. Jujino wins a big fight on top, hops on in for the time. But again, Marski's just being such a thorn in the side of the Knights right now. Not even wanting to touch this hill, just burning the time off the clock, setting up for the rotations. The Buccaneers, they know their win condition, and they're playing it to a T.
All players at least 25 kills and simply having their way. You mentioned the snap by Grime to get 2, and that's been going down the entire map. Just these players' reaction times and abilities to take down a couple of players per life is what's affording Barry not only the score line that they have, but their map positioning and presence and pace, all of the above. This is why this is a top 25 team. They know how to play their respawns. They know, like you had mentioned, their win conditions, what has to happen on the map for them to walk out with a win. And though this is one of their closer hard points that they've been matched up against to start, they look to close this one out handedly. And UCF, they've shown streaks of getting warm at times, but they're going to have to string a little bit more of that together if they don't want this to be a 3-0.
5 seconds remaining for Buccaneers to take map number 1. Grime's going to be in there. Tyler takes him out. 126 to 246. Knights now into the hill. They have the rotations, but here comes the contention. Indivent reads it. Inside for the time. Megan now trying to hold on for the Knights, but the kills keep stringing through for the Buccaneers, and it is going to be Knights not walking out on top with the trades. Last one's going to come through from Marski's, and the Buccaneers taking map number 1. 250 to 132. Like you say, one of the closer hard points from them, but pretty comfortable from start to finish. You know, a couple hiccups here and there from the Knights, finding some good momentum, but really, I mean, from the beginning of that hard point to the end of it, you were seeing clean hard point from Barry.
It was very clean, and like you said, it being one of their closer hard points, this UCF squad is still going to prove to be good repetitions for them tonight. Like you said, a couple of slip-ups here and there in that Bokosh hard point that allowed UCF to get more points and string a couple of hills together there. So the Buccaneers are going to have something to be able to look at in their respawns and figure out how they want to tighten up as they continue to play better teams and as they look forward to Florida Gulf Coast next week. But still a long series ahead of us. Again, fairly decently played by the side of UCF. They tried their best at it, but looking at the scoreline and the stats for everyone on the side of Barry, it's just it's what we talked about being a warning going into this one. You've got to be able to keep up with that, let alone the rotations and the different respawn implications. So far, Barry showed why they're on top.
Let's take a look at those stats throughout that game number 1, because, I mean, it was a big showing out of the Buccaneers. All 4 players plus 30 in that kill column. But I'm looking at the non-traded ones because every single player was almost plus 25. Gyro being the only one that was under for those untraded kills. And you look at the average damage per hill for most of them, it was almost around 300. But Grime and Indivent, the duo that you were calling out to look out for on the Buccaneers, 336 average damage per hill for Grime and 366 for Indivent.
They showed up tonight. They're ready to go. And like you said, the stats, they aren't lying to us thus far. Chris on God, the leader, a slow start from him. So maybe just trying to keep the team in it, but the stats not faring to be too well. If you look at the other 3 players for the side of UCF, none of them were negative by a devastating amount. It was just really Chris being double negative there that kind of hurt the slaying department. But for the most part, apart from that one, it was, again, fairly evenly matched. Of course, side of Barry goes positive and you guys go negative, but taking out that stat line wasn't anything too crazy and wasn't anything that they can't turn around at any point.
No, nothing you can't turn around. But if you want to take down a team that's sitting number 15 inside the CCL power rankings, you need all 4 players on full pace. And when we were kind of highlighting this Knights squad, it was Chris on God to be the leader for this team, to pull everybody together. And maybe you're not showing up in the kill column. Maybe you're having a bad hard point to start this one off on Bocage. It's not easy to find your rhythm inside a map as fast as that. So you got to look at Chris to kind of slow things down for your team, pull everybody together, get everybody on the same pace. And you saw a bit of a glimpse at that after the first set of rotations inside that Hill 5, where we really saw the likes of the Knights pull a couple points together, string their best hill together, but after that, they just found the same pattern. They fell behind once more, and that's going to bring us into Search and Destroy, another Bocage for map number 2. You're going to need to see that quick play style start to pick up for the Knights if they want to take this Bocage out. You don't want to go down 2-0.
Definitely, and you want to play quick, but you don't want to play rushed. And what I mean by that is you want to be good in your decision making. You want to know where you want to go, where you need to be as far as map positioning goes. But if you rush, if you force the mistake, you're just going to walk right into the guns and the aim down sights of the Bucs players. So you definitely want to be quick, know what you want to do on the map, but play to your pace. Don't let them take over the pace as quickly as they did in that hard point. Unfortunately, with it being Search and Destroy, you're kind of afforded a chance to make things slower.
And I like the way that Bocage has evolved as a Search and Destroy over the course of Vanguard, because lately we've been seeing a lot of teams take the gamble to go to B rather than just going A all the time. And you know, the B being pretty kind of dry out in the open for that. If you can get the bomb down, it provides for an excellent post plan if you can flip the map back towards that willow tree. So I'm going to be looking at these teams and kind of the way that they play in this Search and Destroy to see if those adaptations, to see if they've really evolved their Search and Destroy aspect. Because, I mean, a lot of teams, you know, Search and Destroy is their strong suit. They're not as good of a respawn team, and that could be where the Knights excel right now against the Buccaneers. So we're going to be looking at the Bocage to see any adjustments out of the Knights to try to even the series up 1-1 against the strong Barry Buccaneers.
UCF going to have to answer in a big way, and that ever-evolving playstyle, not only on Search and Destroy, but how they shake down on these maps, definitely going to be something to keep in mind here, and a potential for UCF to find success. Can they hit the timings and make the adjustments that they need to keep Barry guessing, or the Buccaneers just prove to be too strong on those initial first blood breaks? Will they be able to have an answer for that, or can they keep it matched? And with this being a slower game mode, I'd like to think that UCF has a fair chance, but these first bloods are going to dictate a lot.
Oh, for sure. And, you know, you see the Knights starting off on the defense, hoping that they can find a first blood to slow down this offense from the Buccaneers. Grimes going to hop on in. Chris gets eyes on. But here's the follow-up from the team. They flood on in. Chris is going to be good for one. The trade from Marskis and a 3-on-3 with sight control from the Buccaneers. See if they get this plan.
I really like how UCF played this. They got to their spots, figured it was going to be an A hit, and just waited for Bucs to come to them. I figured Bucs were going to come out quick, try to run and hit these guys, knowing that their slaying is doing as well as it is. And now I like that UCF is playing together as well, playing the trade. So often you see in 2v1 situations, squads look to try to split up, and that just creates 2 1v1s for the person in the clutch. So the fact that they're playing together is already an adjustment, and a good one at that for me.
Omarski's waiting for the right moment. Eyes on from the Knights to the last player. You saw the rotation come out to just get a better crossfire on when they walk into the A site. Jujina on this Godheady with the automaton. And look at Chris there for the trade. If Jujina may have lost that. And it's an excellent situation to be in. Like you said, I like the play style. I was expecting Barry to come out hot, just like you did. But the Knights were able to deal with it. Now on attack, you know, how would you like to see the Knights handle this?
The same way they did on defense. I don't think you need to fly at this team. They know that this first blood battle can go very dangerously, that this team's going to play together. So as we're seeing right here on the bottom side of the map, we saw a B hit. You said you wanted to see that. Grime, of course, getting up in the face, but the trade able to go even. And the fact that they're playing together is what I wanted to see. I didn't want to see anyone try to one-off win any gunfights because that they didn't need to, because they weren't doing it in the hard point. So I do like how they played this thus far, but Barry on the top and bottom side of the map just kind of able to create a little half dome around the squad and just keep them cupped into their spawn, unable to do anything. So now in a 2v3 situation, they've got a decision to make.
You can see there's like a diagonal line of scrimmage right now of Buccaneers players inside of that. And Individ making the heads-up play, noticing that most of the Knights were over in the river bend. Well, let's just push up tanks and find a pick from behind. They do that. Numbers to the Buccaneers and map control. This is going to be a hard one for the Knights to break, especially when you still don't know where Individ is sitting on this rooftop. So as soon as you push up, one of these players is going to see you. Individ finds Tyler from behind. So now last one alive is going to be Jujina trying to hunt down one of these players with the bomb in hand. But in a 1v3 situation with 19 seconds left, you will have to put this bomb down. And as soon as you do, another Buccaneers are going to be hot on your trail.
Plant is going to go down, but it's going to be a very quick collapse for the side of Barry Bucs. They're going to challenge the side door, both on the pinch, able to get that kill. And as you alluded to with End Event just having such map presence and up in the spawn of UCF, you know whenever Barry takes map control, they're not going to give it back. They're not going to retreat and stand off. They're going to force you to have to find them, sniff them out, and get the kill. They're going to make you earn your positioning on the map. And that's hard to do, especially when you have no information on where they went. They get a kill in dips. So an adjustment's going to need to be made for UCF on offense, not give up as much map presence as they did there. But on defense, I say you go back to the same thing. Of course, we're only in our third round, but see if it works. See if Barry comes flying at you again.
You know, at least they're very minimal things to adjust to. You know, they haven't seen too many exploitable things out of the Knights, just small little things that they can change up and really see a big difference. Gyro once again, look for that first blood around the outside, but it's Jujina, Automaton, on that God angle, opens this one up. Numbers to the Knights, but bomb's going down.
A quick bomb plant. Good for the side of Buccaneers. They have the time at their advantage now that they don't have the lives, the timing. AAA Megan might be through. Marcy's going to pick up 2 there, but AAA Megan with the positioning, able to get the answer. Jujina able to find the other, and there's one player left. UCF on defense, they're looking sharp. Do they play the trade, or did Grime get the timing? We'll find out as Jujina hops on the defuse. Timing works out. AAA Megan gets the answer, and that'll be the defuse.
That was a plague play from Grime. You know, the timing was good. If both players were stacked on that bomb cache, that probably would have been the round to the Bucs, but you know, Megan being outside of there, ready for the trade, plenty of time for the defuse. I mean, just as much as it was good timing for Grime, I think it was even better timing for Megan here.
Absolutely. Just to know that this player's going to have to spin around, head on a swivel, try to find where you're coming in from. You have the timing advantage. So, yeah, the stack on the bomb may have worked out in the Buccaneers' favor, so maybe playing that apart and getting that timing, well, not maybe, but definitely was the preferred way to play that for UCF. So on defense, they look sharp, and like you alluded to, minimal adjustments needing to be made on offense. Do not give up as much map presence. We saw them get trapped in barn, get picked off on the flank here. I know they're going to try to wait for some information, but if you wait too long, could give up too much of the map.
Sitting in the window and Grimes shopping for first blood. Numbers against once more, and you haven't even made a play to a site. Same situation as that first round, and Marskis gets an angle on Megan. So to make matters worse, now 2 players down. Bomb is up inside that barn, out of the hands of both of these players who are very separated. And this is not the position you want to be in if you're the Knights whatsoever. Chris is going to fall. Grime, another one into the round. Jujina last alive with the automaton and looking the wrong way. Oh, I thought that was going to be the end. Able to find Gyro, so not going to be flawless out of the Bucs this time. Grime on the outside. Jujina finds 2. Suddenly things are interesting. But down low waiting, it's Marskis, and no matter what, in a 1v4, which is hard enough, you just need one player to trade it.
Back-to-back defenses won for either squad. UCF just like a little indecisive on defense. You wanted to see them make that, or excuse me, on offense. You wanted to see them play quick and have decision-making, but they seem to coop themselves in, get picked, and then spread. We saw that both times on the offensive rounds where they lost 2 lives early, so we'll see what they look to adjust and change going forward. But Barry, with the quick offensive plant, didn't pay off for them last time. We'll look to see how they opt to take this, maybe get the first bloods going in their favor, but it's mid-map aggression, and Chris on God may have got caught.
Almost got caught with a stun out. Things you hate to see. Megan comes to the rescue. First blood again for the Knights. Jujina, bad timing against Gyro. It's out in the open, but Megan heating up inside this round number 5. Gyro last alive. Megan playing for the ace. Inside for the defuse. Nobody to help that one out. You need to be on this player. You know where Gyro is. Just the rotation's not going to be there. Gyro on the staircase in behind. Chris on guard finally going to find that trade. And plenty of time to get this defuse, but things could have got a little bit scary there with how disconnected the Knights have looked.
Gyro able to use the trigger discipline and gave about the best chance that she could on that, able to get the diffuser and force these players have to go hunting. But on defense, UCF are looking really strong. Barry are just opting to play quick through that A site, and they haven't switched it up. And Megan finding the triple, of course, but in previous rounds, someone's been able to walk away with 2 and their life. And so they're finding wonderful success on defense. This is where they're going to find separation. Can they go up 2 rounds against the Barry Buccaneers? It's going to be taking an offense, and we'll look how they opt to do this one. But Barry, now they've got to find an answer to keep this one even, or can UCF make a change and start to roll away?
We talked about a player you needed to turn up, Megan. 5 and 4 now after that round. 3 kills there. Bomb in hand. You do see a stack to the A side inside Grandma's. Grimer on the outside finds Chris. Marski's a double down. So opening up the round once more on defense. It's going to be the defenders with quick 2 down. Grimer with the shoulder. Almost got good time, but Gyro got the job done. Now Georgina once more in a 1v3. Last time was able to make it interesting in a 1v4. Now what can you do with one less player on the board and behind? Gyro doesn't even know. Georgina from up top, 1v2. Around the corner. Is he going to be ready? No, he's not. In the vent, tucked away. Barry Bucs even us up once again.
Grime has just been playing that low tank side. It's just UCF can't figure out what angle. Georgina's won that gunfight a couple of times, but Grime opting to play the close wall and switching up the angle to keep these players guessing, and it's working out beautifully for the Barry Bucs squad. All defenses thus far, no one's taken an offense. Both teams looking very strong as we head into round number 7. And would you think it's safe to say maybe whoever can take the offense can take the win?
It tends to be the case a lot of times. Oh, gosh. It's definitely going to be tough if you're the team that falls behind. Megan, really aggressive around that. Has to back up. Grime, though, going to shut down 2 of them. Megan tries to get the trade, but a little bit awkward inside the window, and it's quick 3 down. Tyler now last alive. Back against the wall, and Gyro gets this eyes on, and the shot's down range. You asked for an attacking round. Well, here it is.
An attacking round without any kind of objective play going down, just sheer slaying out of the 4 players for the Knights. So now they need to answer big on an offense of their own, lest they put Barry Bucs at match point, risk going down 2-0 in the series. Not something that they're looking to do, so they're going to try to dig deep here, find a way to get it done, but it's a pretty tall task given how their first offenses have gone.
This has been crazy so far. You know, the Knights last round trying to make the adjustments on defense, but didn't really need the adjustments to be so aggressive. You see Marski's again in a great angle to spot Megan on the cross, and that's bombed down. Numbers once more. You look at the mini-map and just nobody able to trade that out from any sort of the angle from Knights.
No one's able to trade it out, and no one puts themselves in a position to take any more of the map away, because you see whether it's Marski's or Grime, they get a kill and they take off. Grime looking to get a 2-piece here, but maybe the timing not going to work out. Able to snap on Tyler, and well, for UCF, that's kind of just been the tale of how this has gone. You cannot get an answer for Marski's or Grime in the first blood category, and are unable to find a mid-round adjustment that grants you any more kills or map presence. So now running around frantically is going to be Chris, going to be greeted at the tunnel entrance with a few rounds, and Barry Bucs, match point.
And suddenly things look scary. I mean, this is the biggest lead we've seen so far in the search and destroy. 2 rounds for the Bucs. 1 away from going up 2-0 in the series. And we highlighted this whole team that any player on this roster can turn up at any moment. And you just see it. As soon as the first blood comes in, the communication is going to be kind of spread throughout the whole squad. And one player overextends, gets in behind with the open map, and they just make it even harder for the Knights to resurge. So into this defensive round, they got aggressive last time. I need to see them play passive. Wait for the Bucs to come to them.
Streak's going to come in from Grime. Big kill on Riverside from Tyler, but Grime will cancel that out with the streak, and something good to have if you weren't able to get the trade. But AAA Megan's been so effective in this mid-map whenever they can get to the positioning they need to find these kills. So Really good awareness and play from AAA Megan. Now the site collapse going to come in. They're going to try to find these players, but Endevent going to respond. And UCF, they got to hold on here. They can't get too hectic and frantic and make mistakes. They've got to hunt these kills down and make them clean.
Yeah, Megan has been really solid in this position. Marsky should know somebody's there. Megan gets the shots, but it's a bait and switch. Now numbers to the Bucs to put this away. 2v1 for Tyler, the clutch up for the squad. There's the ball going all the way in the back, and Tyler might actually get good timing onto these players up top. Spots them. They're stacked. Shot's going to ring out, and Tyler readjusts to this positioning. But you can see this. I love this out of the Bucs. They're just going to go B.
Play the info you have. Know that you're going to be able to get the bomb down without having any kind of conflict, and Tyler having mixed rotation. They're probably going to guess he's coming from this backside as these players are just stacked. Eyes on the mid-map, eyes on the back of the spawn, and Tyler's going to get one now. 1v1 here to keep the map alive. To keep from going down 2-0 in the series, it's going to be Tyler up against Endevent. This is going to be huge.
Doesn't even know. Endevent's kind of flipped this map. They're going to meet on the bell tower. Good timing to Tyler. He keeps the Knights alive. He thought about it. He's like, I should let him know. But no, I need to get the objective first. I need to keep this game alive. The Knights, they live to see another round of search.
I like that from Tyler, just to recognize the situation. Everyone knows we all saw it. A good round to stay alive, but really, that's all it was. And now you find yourself on a dreaded offense. To keep this one in contention, you've got to answer it back to stay alive here. So, a great clutch up and on a 3 streak. Try to activate Tyler, get him in position to maybe get a couple of kills here. They've been able to get picks before. Can they string it all together and do it here? We'll find out as Tyler's been playing this long line of sight. So, to open things up, some mid-map presence from UCF, and Marsky's once again strikes first.
Megan's the one to fall, and she's been the pillar of this middle map for the Knights defense. There's Grime to keep the numbers now there. Tyler, good shots on Gyro, but not able to find the kill now. Information for the Bucs to recognize both players very separated, but Chris, I don't think they know where Chris is, so if anybody's going to spoil the fun for the Bucs, it is going to be Chris.
I was going to say, Tyler just needs to stay alive and play info. Try to relate to Chris, because his flank really hasn't amounted to much, but maybe the timing's going to work out here to get behind player. Chris checks the right angle first. Now in a 2v2, there's a much different situation, so great for Tyler to stay alive, just trying to get more information for the team. Both players stuck inside here, bomb down, they know it. 30 seconds left, you've got to make a move.
Chris needs to know that Tyler is watching his back right now. Bomb down, 23 seconds. And Tyler's going to pick this one up. Go to the B site. Chris to back it up. If you get this bomb down, you play for that post plant. Bucs are going to have to walk into uncharted territory. And I like this even better from Chris. He's going to get behind them. Tyler hops into the position. Grime cuts him off before anything happens. So Chris needs to go big now.
Put himself in the best position to play spoiler behind both players. Now it's just the timing. Does it work out? Gonna find Grime, gonna get Grime. One more player is behind Endevent, got the information. Now just needs to play it and win the gunfight. And does.
Oh, Chris.
My.
You ask him to deliver, and he gives us a round 11.
IGL coming through. Send us to a round 11, baby. Let's do it.
This was so good, too. Hops up, sees Grimes, wins the first gunfight. All of a sudden, Endevent has to react, has to close that distance because the time is against him. And Chris making that full wrap around, getting the high ground, just has the best positioning for taking both of those gunfights. Hits prone, waits for Endevent to come. We're in round 11, but Knights, there's the ones on attack.
Can't be too shocked at this, and the job's not done. To win this, you'd rip off 3 straight, and that's what they're looking to do. Chris on God has come alive, sitting at 7-7, but more so coming alive in the killing department. Both players are going to be stacked up on the site. Endevent will find one, and haven't yet got the bomb down now that kill's come in, but Marcy's going to find another now. A 3v2. Team's got to go huge again.
Eugenia on the hunt. Doesn't check to the right now. Chris on God. You got to do it again. 1v3 now, 1v2. Around the outside of Grandma's. Potential for that. Shots off now. Information there for the Bucs to react. Chris has the strafing run. Dedicated that glide bomb, amounted to nothing. Needs to pick up this bomb and needs to make a play. But look at the way the Bucs are playing this. Look at their positioning. They have completely flipped this out. They're allowing Chris to plant.
I think they need to call that strafing run, and I'm kind of shocked that they're going to let him make a play on bomb and plant because we saw how it ended last time. Maybe someone's going to look to rotate over here, but Chris going to walk right into these players, gets information on one. Marski's is going to also see something going down. Going to get one. Gets away with his life. A 1v1 once again. To go 1-1
Grime.
in the series is huge.
Oh, Grime! Out inside that tank hill. You thought it was going to happen again. Chris, who had the ice back in round number 10, tries to get that 1v1, tries to get the wraparound back top barn, but you see Grime playing the open field, disengages from that close gunfight, and calls the bluff from Chris to walk around on that hedge. It was insane out of the Knights to send us to that round 11, make it as far as they did, but just couldn't get it done. I mean, they were moments away from tying up the series, but it's just going to lead to the Buccaneers now 2-0.
We've seen moments, even in the respawn and in the search and destroy, they've shown flashes of just really looking like the better team in some moments. Now, overall, of course, that argument can be made otherwise, but UCF showing they can hang. It's just a matter, and I know it's most definitely easier said than done, but stringing everything together to finally take them down. Hardpoint wasn't close. You've only made it closer as the series has gone on, sending us to a round 11 there. Can you piece both things together now that we have control in play? That's what we'll have to find out, but we'll have a look at these stats, and man, that was an exciting one, I'll say.
That was electric. I mean, Chris came alive towards the end of it, but, you know, through the middle, to keep the Knights alive in a lot of those defensive rounds, it was Megan. You know, 6 and 10, didn't have the best late game, but an early hot start to push them to where they needed to be, and then Chris sending them to that round 11. Throughout the midst of it, Tyler and Georgina finding kills here and there exactly where they needed to, but if you're looking at the opposite end, I mean, you see Grime and Marski's 14 and 7, 12 and 8. They were the superstars for the Bucs. The reason why they got that defensive round towards the end of it, and really a big part on why they were able to walk away with it.
It was first bloods for both, but also just how many times were we talking over a 1v1 and then we see off screen one of them pop a tube piece. They just were doing it all, being problems in the first engagements and being problems whenever UCF tried to make a mid-round adjustment. So Barry Bucs doing exactly what they need to walk away with that one. They're up 2 in the series, but I know you see 2-0 up at the top, and the series has played closer than what it lets on, and UCF, they're still alive.
Well, you said it. The longer you go, the better it's going to look for the Knights. They just need to now pull the reverse sweep if they want to take a win over the number 15 Barry Buccaneers. Folks, we got another control, or we got the control coming up after this break. It's going to be Gavitu. Stay tuned for it, because we'll be right back in a few moments. Folks, welcome back to the College Cod Bravo stream. My name is Seymour. Alongside me is Gash, and we are rocking this matchup between UCF Knights and the Barry Buccaneers. We're looking at UCF Knights being down 0-2 now after that search and destroy round 11. They're going to need to pull out this reverse sweep. Let's take a look at these maps and modes. Let's take a look at the pass cache. Run us through. What have we seen so far?
Well, what we've seen is, from the side of Barry Buccaneers, utter dominance in the respawn that we've caught thus far. It was a 100-point win for them. One of their closer ones, as we had mentioned. UCF trying to put up a fight there, just the deficit too much to come back from. And in the search and destroy, something unusual for the Buccaneers. They were pushed the distance to a round 11, somewhere where UCF has been before. Unfortunately, unable to come out on the winning side of that. Chris gave it all he could to try and win 3 straight for the team and bring that one back. But now as we go into this Gavitu control, UCF, they have all of the pieces to really string this together and take this pivotal, this series-defining map and mode on Gavitu control. So UCF, they've shown us everything we've needed. Can they piece it all together, and can they start to swing this series in this reverse sweep around?
I didn't expect so much heartbreak from that last round 11.
Yeah.
Out of UCF. I mean, Chris was so close.
So close
from putting us 1-1 in this series. Could have pushed us the distance, but now they have to do it inside this Gavitu control. And when you're looking at it, that's going to be the hard part. Gavitu, big. A lot bigger than a Tuscan control. And it's a lot harder to get an attacking round under your belt. You're going to be looking at your flex players. Whoever's going to pull out that third AR, that third automaton, they're going to be the ones that really need to turn the tides for you. And it's going to be a big step for the Knights to take against the Bucs.
It is going to be a big step, and I have seen this UCF squad play on Gavitu before, and it was control one of the first weeks it was implemented in their match against Southern Florida. And we've talked about the team chemistry of Central Florida. We've talked about and seen in the map 2 Bocage S&D, AAA Megan, and how much of a threat they can be in the mid-map. That's exactly what it looked like for them on control. Now, they do have a much more slay-heavy Titan that they're going up against the Bucs.
Oh, yeah.
On defense, trying to pen them into that bottom left corner of the map. But I've seen them find success on control, and when they've done it, it's been with the pieces that we've seen thus far. Can they keep the slaying from getting too out of hand? Because I know they have the chemistry and the map presence and rotations to be able to hold them off.
And this kind of brings us back to the fact that when you look at, the history out of this side of UCF and the fact that they're, 5-2 going into this matchup, the two matches that they lost, they were to the two top teams. And they were quick 3-0s. Now you're going up against a team that you really don't want to lose to, because this is probably going to knock you out of a chance for that third place spot inside this top cut. But if you can come out with this control, set up the momentum to reverse sweep, the hard point, few things, and it could change around. I mean, Bokosh, it's hard to go toe-to-toe with a fast-paced team like the Bucs and outslay them. Things can get out of hand. So you go to your second Gava 2 hard point, set up the momentum into that search and destroy where you looked really good. And this is the start of what needs to be the comeback of UCF right now. It is a very hard pool to get through. And if you lose this one, you might be out of the running for top 3.
And sure, top 3 is what you're ultimately playing for. You want to be able to advance out of this pool and out of stage play. But looking at the 3 teams that are ahead of you, if those end up being your only 3 losses on the season, of course you're going to want to have performed better and taken more maps off of them and extended those series for a chance to win. But hey, you took care of business as far as things go and the teams you're supposed to be playing. Now we still have a couple of weeks left, so of course the stage is far from over, but UCF going up against the Titans, they've shown us that they can at least make things contest heavy, that they can rotate. Now, does it all come together here as they take the first defense? Or will the guns of Barry Bucs just be a bit too much?
Well, already out to A of the Bucs. Marski's cutting players off from artillery, so not a lot of rotation from the Knights to step up to this site and stop the progression that we have. Grimes going to find Eugenia through the middle of the map. Number 8, Chris, trying to make a play up on top of the ship. Slow this down, but working on the second ticket progression. So far, this is flawless. Out of the box, in behind, Chris is going to find Gyro. That pulls the player off the hill from Indivent to take him down. Hop back into this hill. So if Chris found that one, it would have been huge. But the fact that he drops, this might be the A site done and dusted.
Could very well be that, as Eugenia tried to give it one last effort, but that'll be the A site secured. And already starting things off, it's looking a bit too much like the Bacage hard point, where a couple of 4-down situations and UCF just not able to respond at the moment. That gives Barry 2 minutes of time to make this way over to B, and the slaying, again, just can become way too much, especially on a mode like Control, where that can play such a part in deciding rounds if we do go the distance. But so far in the respawns, Barry has just had no resistance as far as getting across the map and getting where they need to be. UCF, they need to make a stand, they need to do it here.
They do. The B site, the harder of the two. Gyro spearheading this one. He's going to find the first, but look at that answer back for the Knights. 3 down as they deal with the first wave of players here. I've seen teams lose a control with a lot more in their pocket. So wouldn't be surprised if the Knights come away with this one after losing that A site. 6 life deficit. 1:20 onto this board. Here comes the second wave.
You're definitely correct. I've seen teams on defense hold it with no respawns remaining. This map, how big it is and how deep teams spawn if they get wiped, as we see 3 dead here. The hike across the map eats up so much time, so really for Barry Bucs, it's not UCF players in their way, it's the map and hiking across it. Now UCF need to try to extend their way up to the 50-yard line, hold these players off even more, and of course win their ones, that would help, but again, it's just the clock and the hike that if you're Barry, if you get wiped again, you've got one more push.
Double the lives right now of the Knights. Tyler, 5 in a row. Gonna have that glide bump with the break from Gyro. Takes him down to the behind. Second one of the Mega, and that is going to be an opening to this B site to stop the clock at 30. But look at the lives for the Knights. Only 5 players remaining. They are going to need to heavily turn up. But Marski's barely seeing Tyler. Takes him off. Nobody on the time right now. No respawns for the Knights. 13v4. Out comes Megan. Marski's another one. Snaps to Chris. Can't find it, but damage has been done. On the hill is going to be Indivent to stop this clock. And you look at the last 2 players of the Knights completely separated from the action. As you're going to be looking at Eugenia trying to make a wrap, trying to make a last-ditch effort play, but it's going to go down, and everybody from the Knights going to be knocked off the board, and Barry Bucs are going to take the first offensive wave.
First offense going their way, and UCF tried there to hold on, but once they got pinned in their spawn, they just had to run at this point and try and clear these players off. I would have liked to have seen them played a little bit slower while they still even had respawns to make a collective push up towards the site, because really with the time and having less than 30 seconds, all they needed was one wipe, and they could very well have taken that defensive round, but it's going to be Barry answering on offense, or excuse me, coming out on offense first, and UCF, they're going to take this A hit. If they can't find success here and get a good break to get some segments secured, they could find themselves in trouble, because I know Barry's going to push up this map and try to pin them deep.
Megan wins the one-on-one through the middle of the map. Something down a pillar inside the search and destroy. Still a player to deal with in the back. It's Marskis. And on top of the ship, it's player number 4, Gyro, taking care of both fronts. Jujina goes down as well, so last 2 players up from the Bucs make a big play, shut out the Knights. And now they're looking for map control.
The position you want to be in on defense, exactly where Marskis is, just playing this jungle cross. Sees one player, repositions to try and find another, and now these players have to avert their attention and know that someone's watching that cross there. Fortunately, it is with an MP40, so Marskis going to have to close distance, but as they're trying to make progress, they're just not affording themselves any more time to get more players here. As everyone you see constantly arrows turning, trying to figure out where this pinch could be coming from, and it's just 3 people to Barry on the front of the hill, and with these, they're able to try and wipe it, but we see a pinstripe kill feed, and this may be UCF's best chance.
Indivent gonna get picked. Inside the hill, Marskis 4 in a row. Gonna pick up the pace for the Bucs to slow things down. Grime, Indivent, everybody turning up in the kill column to shut the Knights out from this. They have full map control, and now they have control of the ship once more. 22 lives and 13 and 10 seconds left. I don't think it's possible to get through this player. Marskis on 5 in a row, make it 6 in a row. Full streak for them with the final 3 seconds. It is a near flawless round number 2.
A little bit of a collapse from UCF coming in there. They feed Marski's streaks. Maybe that they didn't have to, but sitting at 13 and 3, Marski's doing everything that needs to be done for the Bucs. As now we're at match point. UCF gotta contest A bit more here off the rip. Don't let them have more than 2 minutes of time to work with, because you nearly held it to the end. So if you can kill maybe 30 more seconds and make a defensive stand, you could find yourself walking away with the defensive round. Barry, they're going to fly right today, though, and try to get that quick progress once again.
Yes, they are. You need to go big. You need to go big now. It's a split setup right now from the Knights on the defense, but split and now shut down. Marskis with a set nade finds Chris around the outside of the ship. Grime locking down Megan. That's 3 down quickly. A flawless break into the Bucs. And here come the streaks from Marskis. Takes care of Tyler. Looking to overextend. It's going to be a fight on the inside of the ship. Grime's getting ready for Chris. Megan into the action. Is able to get the trade and dethrone the Bucs for now. But if you look at the control of these points and the progression that we got, off one hit, Barry was able to find a tick to B. Working on a second, and now Indivent opening up the A site.
Marskis is about to single-handedly capture this B site now. Over 2 ticks the progression. Just a few more seconds needed as 2 players on more than full streaks. Really just doing what they want around the map. And these streaks are getting called in. This should be what closes out the map for them. Streak's going to come in from UCF to try to slow this attack. But with Marskis getting B and now needing 1 point at A, well, it's going to be see you later for the Knights.
Oh, I thought Marskis was about to snap on him. 11 in a row to go down. Now all your stock's going to be in the A site, but Grime's on this right now. The break comes through. It's a full 4 down, so it's not over just yet. You have a full arsenal of score streaks, kill streaks, in the hands of the Buccaneers. 1 tick towards a 5 life to make it a 6 life advantage, and 2 minutes to make this possible. Here they come. The break going to be on the inside. Indivent, Marskis heading it. Gyro from up top is going to take down Chris. Hopping on the inside are going to be the Buccaneers to put through this last tick of progression. Gyro shutting down the rotations, but he doesn't even need to shoot their gun. This is going to be a 3-0 sweep for your Barry Buccaneers. Your number 15 CCL power ranking squad are looking as hot as ever.
Their respawns look simply untouchable. We did see them push the distance in the search and destroy, but as far as just awareness of where players are coming from, this is a perfect example of it. Indivent popping 3, knowing that someone might be top boot, someone might be coming in from front at this point. Their timings, their collaboration amongst players looks wonderful. And as you said, that's why they're a top 25 team, looking sharp as ever.
Looking sharp as ever. I mean, not even top 25, top 15.
You're right.
In that whole thing. I mean, this squad, they look like they are next level right now into the season of CCL. Yeah, they have still a big job to do. You still have to go up against FGCU, who are opposing you as undefeated inside your division. But right now, I mean, you haven't dropped a map yet. You haven't dropped a series. You're looking good in the Southeast D division. Let's take a look at the stats for that game number 3, because this is going to tell a lot right now for this squad, as it was just a masterclass out of them. And to top it all off, I mean, I don't think I could start this off with anybody else rather than Marski's. 21-5, a 12 streak into that last round, single-handedly capturing B. I mean, doing it all.
We said any one of these players could choose to go off. We had our highlighted players, and of course they showed up this series, but Marski's in takeover mode, going nearly triple positive, or excuse me, well over triple positive, nearly going positive 4 or 5 times. It's just, again, you say the 12 kill streak, I don't know what else you could say. You could point at that one stat and know how that control went. Unfortunately for UCF, just unable to get any kind of map control, and whenever you're moving around the map with the slaying ease that the Bucs were, it's hard to contest that. They tried to make a stand early on, but as the game went on, you just felt the Bucs just tighten their grip, really close in, and close that one out.
I mean, it was a tough one to begin with for the Knights. When we look back at the maps and modes of the series, I mean, you're going up against a team that very well could be number 1 in your division. And as a team who struggled against the top squads already, the Knights, I mean, they had a lot to prove, and they looked good in the search and destroy. They brought us all the way to round 11 inside that game 2. Could have potentially sent us the distance to Gavin to Hardpoint, but in that last round, I mean, it was a heads-up play to the Bucs on defense to just once again lock down the better half that we saw inside that search and destroy. Defense reigned true in the end and really paved the way for this 3-0. And you look at the respawns, like you said, I mean, they looked like they were on another level rather than Knights in the respawns. It looked perfect inside of that hard point. Yeah, 250 to 132. It's definitely quite a fight out of the Knights, but I mean, it looked systematic from start to finish inside that hard point, and we just saw the control and how dominant that was. I mean, there's not a lot of improvements that I could see out of the Bucs for this division. We're going to have to see how they kind of match up against FGCU to see what they need to improve on. But for the Knights, I mean, there's a lot of takeaways that you're going to get from this series, a lot to work on, and you can look over this series, you can look over this matchup against one of the best in your division, and you can see that you will now have a good basis on what to improve.
Definitely will, and of course it's obvious to look at UCF, you know, being the losing team and saying, hey, plenty to go work on, but I think the Bucs have the same going into their next week match against Florida Gulf Coast. It's a well-repped team in UCF. It wasn't an easy fight. Now you go and you look at the score lines, and of course you can say that, but hey, UCF pushed you the distance in the search and destroy, so they have areas they can tighten things up on, especially going against the only other undefeated team in this division. They definitely can go back on that and find some things out, how they want to adjust to defensive play that was being thrown at them, because the offenses weren't a problem for them, or excuse me, when they were on defense, but when the opposing team is on offense, they didn't quite have answers for that, and that could be because not being their most well-repped S&D map. That could be a number of things, but you still have things you can look at for both squads, of course more so for UCF than the Barry Buccaneers, but hey, if you're the Bucs, I would take the win, and I'd also take that, hey, we have a couple lessons we can learn to sharpen us for next week.
That very well could be the case for the next week matchup. But that's all for our match number 1 on the College COD Bravo stream, everybody. It's a 3-0 sweep from your number 15, Barry Bucs. UCF just didn't have what it takes to go up against the Titan inside their division today. But who knows what we're going to get next week out of these two squads. Coming up next for our second match of the day, it will be UNCW versus Old Dominion. And to take you through that will be Susano and Mick on the mic. So we're going to be dipping out. You are going to play a little bit of Caster musical chairs. And when we come back, 2 fresh new faces, 2 fresh new teams, and a banger matchup for you guys to enjoy. We're going to head to a break. And when we come back, more College COD on the Bravo stream.